Could be running out for TikTok. The app now considering a total shutdown for American users if that ban goes into effect on Sunday.
Time running out for TikTok fans.
Time is running out for TikTok.
TikTok is an app with over 170 million users in the United States, and it is set to be banned on January 19th of this year. There has been a lot of controversy around said TikTok ban, as a lot of people think that it is infringing on First Amendment freedom of speech rights. Without TikTok, where will these 170 million people go? Well, the answer comes in the form of a little red book. Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome for the first time to my channel where I post anything and everything. Today I'm going to be delving a little bit into the commentary sphere of YouTube and talk a little bit about the upcoming TikTok ban and the effect that it's had on the social media landscape. Now I'd like to apologize if my microphone quality isn't the best since I am just recording on my iPhone, though I promise upgrades are coming as I ordered a microphone recently, so hopefully the quality of my audio will go up in the near future in my next Gossip Girl video. As if you don't know, I am doing a 6-part series on Gossip Girl where I try and guess who Gossip Girl is before the show does the reveal. So if you'd be interested in that, I've got an 1.5-hour video in the description of this video. It's linked there. So do go ahead and watch it if you need something to listen to in the background while you're doing something else. Now, without further ado, let's dive into this topic. Now, the case against TikTok is this. It poses a security threat because it is owned by a Chinese company called ByteDance, though it is important to note that a significant portion of the ownership of TikTok is owned by global investors outside of China. TikTok argues that the ban would infringe on freedom of speech rights if it does end up getting banned, and $10 billion in ad revenue would move to different platforms, impacting those businesses and influencers who rely on the TikTok app for income. Now, the ban would impact many people considering it had a boom in 2020 and 2021 during the pandemic. A lot of people got their start on TikTok by growing their own platforms for either their influencing or their businesses. Just think of all the small businesses that blew up on TikTok during that time and how they were able to start making money for themselves through the platform. Nowadays, it's a little different with TikTok Shop considering it's all just dropship bullshit, but that's a video topic for a whole nother time. And I know we like to dog on influencers being out of touch with reality, but they are still people at the end of the day, and their source of income is going to be taken away if TikTok gets banned. Now, I personally am an avid TikTok user as somebody who's had over 7 different accounts for various different things on TikTok, and I've also been on the app since Musical.ly, so I've been on the TikTok Musical.ly sphere for about 7 or 8 years now. Like many others, that app holds a dear place in my heart. As much as I hate to admit it, me, like many others, get their news for the first time through TikTok. Now, please don't get me wrong and think that I'm saying that TikTok should be your only form of news, because that is absolutely untrue. But I do think that TikTok is quite useful in being the first place somebody hears about a story and being able to spread more information about a story, or specifically spread awareness about a story, to then prompt people to go outside of TikTok and research more about the issue themselves. Now, January 19th is coming up pretty quickly. As of the filming of this video, it is currently the 16th of January, so that's just 4 days away. And TikTok is going to get banned unless the Supreme Court decides to veto it, giving lawmakers a little over 200 more days to think about another solution around TikTok. Now, with this widespread panic of TikTok getting banned really soon, a lot of TikTok users have been moving over to another app called Xiaohongshu to post their content instead. Now, Xiaohongshu, also known as RedNote, Little Red Book, or XHS, it's a very popular Chinese social media and e-commerce platform. It was founded in 2013 by Miranda Q and Charlene Mao, and it evolved from an online space for Chinese shoppers into more of a social media platform to share lifestyle content, among other things. It, just like TikTok, has a primarily young audience. In 2023, half of its 300 million users were found to be under the age of 35 living in urban areas. Its success led to significant investments, with its current reported value being $14 billion. And another thing about the app is that it is used a lot by Chinese travelers to figure out which locations are good to go to when it comes to restaurants and such. The best way I can describe Xiaohongshu is like a combination between TikTok, Instagram, and Pinterest. It's quite similar to Pinterest in its layout and the way the posts are organized as you scroll down through them. It's similar to TikTok in the way that it does have a feature where you can scroll through videos almost endlessly. And it's similar to Instagram with the aesthetics of the content that gets posted there. Now, I've been a Xiaohongshu user for over a year now. I made an account a while back just to look at some more outfit inspo and makeup tips. And if you've been on TikTok recently, you would know that everybody is talking about RedNote or Xiaohongshu, and a lot of people are moving their content from TikTok over there. Now, as somebody who has been using the app for over a year, I have noticed a lot of differences now that a lot more international creators are coming to Xiaohongshu. And there's a couple people who have spoken out about the influx of international content coming to Xiaohongshu. And the main issue that people are having is that their feeds are flooded with people uploading their old TikToks and such. So basically what's happening is somebody who's scared that TikTok is going to get banned makes a Xiaohongshu account and they just start posting every single video that they had on their TikTok, which bombards the algorithm, causing the algorithm just to be filled with random videos of just people doing random things and not really being filled with videos that the algorithm had originally geared towards that person using Xiaohongshu. Now, I want to put a disclaimer and say that I am not Chinese in any way, nor do I speak for the people of China. I am simply just expressing my thoughts on the whole TikTokers moving to Xiaohongshu situation and reporting on some of the things that I've seen so far. I found a few clips of Chinese creators expressing their thoughts on the big move from TikTok to Xiaohongshu, so I'll play them right now just to give you guys some different perspectives of what's happening.
I'm actually terrified of this. I don't want everyone on TikTok to move onto the Xiaohongshu app, and this is why. Some people are calling it RedNote, and it actually translates to Little Red Book. I just feel the xenophobia coming, and I'm not trying to gatekeep this app, but it's not good that most of TikTokers, American TikTokers, are moving on to Xiaohongshu. I don't know if you heard about it, but Xiaohongshu is getting really popular, and they're thinking about changing their IP, separating mainland China from the US, which means that Chinese Americans won't have access to Chinese content. This is sad and hurts me in a lot of ways because I've been using Xiaohongshu for 3 years now, and I use it a lot for inspiration and to share my culture in the brand. Like, that's my creative outlet. I'm on Xiaohongshu at least 2 hours a day almost. Use it to learn, to find cute makeup, to find cute outfits. There's so much inspiration on there. And I love sharing culture. That's what our brand is for. The hundreds of thousands of Americans that are going on there and changing the Chinese content into more Americanized content feels really wrong. It feels like it's trying to Americanize Xiaohongshu, which the point of Xiaohongshu was so that we can get more into Chinese culture. I don't know, it feels really sad. I just hope that the Xiaohongshu algorithm doesn't change. I want to be able to take the inspiration on there and share it with you guys, but I'm not for all Americans going on there and putting their Western views onto Xiaohongshu, if that makes sense. Anyways, that's my rant. I'm just a little sad over it because I just hope that Xiaohongshu is not the place where all Americans are going and changing it up.
On behalf of most Chinese people and the Xiaohongshu users, don't post on that app if you're not going to post in Chinese or respect the culture of it. Like, it's okay to use the app if you're American, and it's okay if you're not Chinese to use that app. But it's one thing to just consume the content, it's another thing to try and change it. There is no place for you to complain that you don't understand anything when clearly the design of the app was not made for Americans and was not designed to be in English. Like, there is no place for people to try and infiltrate that app that was already designed for a certain audience.
Now, in the first clip, TikTok user Euphoric Sun doesn't really like people coming to Xiaohongshu, as she described that the app helps her connect to her Chinese heritage by seeing content that's specifically only from Chinese creators, and doesn't really like seeing the international audience on there because that's not what she geared her algorithm towards looking at. And in the second clip, TikToker Zuko brings up some really great points about being respectful on the app. I've heard a lot of different people talk about being respectful on the app Xiaohongshu, But what does that really look like? The consensus that I've seen is to just be posting in Chinese. There have been a couple people who are new to Xiaohongshu complaining about the fact that they can't read anything because it's all in Chinese, but obviously it's going to be in Chinese if it's an app made in China for Chinese people. Literally, all you have to do to understand what's going on in the conversation is to take a screenshot, put that into a translator app, as both Google Translate and Apple's automatically installed translator app have a feature where you can take a picture and translate the picture, and then boom, now you know exactly what they're talking about. Well, maybe not exactly, because sometimes the translators translate a little bit weird, but for the most part, you're going to be able to understand what's going on. And the same thing goes for posting on the app. Now, before posting, please don't just upload your entire feed onto the app, because that clogs up the algorithm. But if you are uploading onto the app, try your best to upload things in Chinese. And if you're having trouble with hashtags, let's say for example, you are trying to post an outfit check video or picture or something, go to a Chinese creator's page and click on the hashtags under an outfit post that they made, and you can easily just copy paste those hashtags onto your own post so it reaches the audience that it's intended to reach. Another thing to note is the name that people are calling this app. In Western spaces, a lot of people are referring to the app as RedNote, while its original pronunciation is Xiaohongshu. So I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing it wrong because I don't speak Mandarin. The most accurate translation of Xiaohongshu to English would be Little Red Book. This is a reference to the 1964 compilation of quotations by Mao Zedong, who was a political leader in China during that time. But the name Little Red Book also comes from Xiaohongshu's co-founder, Mao Wenchao's experience at Byam and Company and his education at Stanford Graduate School of Business, as both institutions used red as their main color. Now, just like any social media platform, there has been a problem with rage bait content arising. I was just scrolling through my feed and I started seeing an influx of racist comments and just inflammatory statements being shared. I sound like a teacher coming back to their classroom after they had a substitute teacher. But never in my year of using Xiaohongshu have I ever stumbled across any type of racist content on there. Maybe I just wasn't looking hard enough, but in my personal experience, I've never seen it. Now, I know it's all just stupid rage bait, but it doesn't really belong on the app, and it honestly doesn't belong on any app. So it's just rude, stupid, and just wastes everybody's time. Now, obviously, there's always going to be a few bad apples in any sort of situation, but I've seen an overwhelmingly positive reception from Chinese netizens welcoming in the TikTok so-called refugees coming from TikTok. And I've seen a lot of positive trends arise, that being like the homework help trend and the cats trend. I know these aren't actual like trend names, that's just what I'm gonna be dubbing them. Now, the homework help trend is where Chinese students will comment underneath American students' posts asking them for help with their English homework, and 9 times out of 10, whether it's out of pure kindness, boredom, or just for fun, American students will do the homework for the Chinese students, bringing everybody together. Now, the other trend I've seen is a trend where everybody shares pictures of their cats. The joke is that the Chinese netizens don't want to steal American information. They just want to see cute pictures of American people's cats. So you'll see comment sections flooded with hundreds and hundreds of pictures of people's adorable cats, which I really enjoy looking at. Now, to conclude my thoughts on the move of people from TikTok to Xiaohongshu, I don't really think there's any big problem with it necessarily. I do have a problem with the influx of hate comments and racist and inflammatory statements that are being posted on there by people who are just looking to rile people up. So if you do see any of that content, either block and report it or just ignore it, because it's just there to waste people's time and it really doesn't belong in that space. It doesn't belong in any space, really. If you do decide to download the app, try not to upload all of your videos at once, as it does mess with the algorithm a little bit, and just try and be respectful on the app. Just have common courtesy with people and try and post translated versions of what you're saying, as it helps people understand each other a lot better and helps you connect with a more international audience. And also, please don't complain about not being able to understand anything. Don't be lazy and just grab your translator app and translate the damn comment that you're trying to read. Though I've said this before, I do believe that most of the interactions that have happened in Xiaohongshu have been positive, and it's really nice to see a bunch of people come together at the end of the day and just fawn over things like cats and make jokes and help each other out with homework. And I really do hope that these positive encounters continue and that the app doesn't devolve into just hate and rage bait. Now, with that said, that concludes my thoughts on the TikTok move to Xiaohongshu. Xiaohongshu. If you've made it this far in this video, let me know what you think about the TikTok ban. Let me know what you think about the move of TikTokers to Xiaohongshu. Have you used Xiaohongshu before? If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel for more content like this.